Good morning, everyone. Hello, how are you? Good morning, Alicia. Oh, that's so sweet. You're a sweet friend, too. Thank you so much. Good morning, Julie. You're up again. Oh, gotta give it to the West Coast. Getting up early here. Oh, good morning, Lori. Hi. Caitlin, hello. You're up with your mom. How are you feeling, dear? You doing okay? All right, Julie, awesome. I'm glad everything is good there. It's kind of cloudy today, but cooler. Let me see what my phone says for the temps. If I look sleepy this morning, I am. I'm sorry about that. Oh, what are we? 45 degrees and cloudy. So our high today is in the mid 50s. But yes, God is good. Absolutely. Absolutely. So my numbers are looking kind of funny here. It says I only have one person here in the chat, or online, but I think I have more of you than what it's saying. So I'm not going to look at the numbers. So, oh, good. Yes, it should be a nice day. Unfortunately, my neighbor across the street and a little bit to the north. So I get northwest winds, which is what they are since yesterday, late afternoon or evening. And he's been burning over there, just yard trash, stuff like that. And I went out last night for just a bit, all to get my mail. And the atmosphere was just loaded with smoke. And so between the smoke and the pollen, I look outside and it's still kind of hazy out there. And I'm just like, oh. So I have so much work to do outside, but I can't go out in that. It's just, I will have such a headache, and like I said, between the pollen and the smoke, and not good for my lungs either. So yes, I could probably wear my mask. I could put my N95 or N99 on and just head out there. I know there should be, but we're in this little small town, and truthfully, good morning, Grammy Karen. Good morning. Morning, Dave. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's such a small town, but we do have, we're supposed to, when there are burning restrictions in the area of the state, which we are kind of right now, we're supposed to get a permit. So he may have a permit. I don't know. It's been a while since I've burned anything like that, so which I had to get a permit for. But yeah, I'm not even going to go there with this area, but there are people that will burn fields and swamps and everything on super windy days, and then all of a sudden it gets out of control, and the fire department is out, and it's like why? I just don't understand that. Good morning, Matt. How are you? Hi, Jake. The adaptive meal timer. Good morning. I didn't see Tim. Good morning to you. I hope you enjoyed your little birthday presents there. Hey, Kiri. Good morning. Good morning to you. All right. So because the air quality outside in the middle of the country here is so poor, I just really can't be outside today. So we're doing indoor stuff. We're doing a Paleo Granola bar. Now, it may look like a lot of ingredients and everything, but you can really substitute whatever you want in there, whatever works for you. Matt, I know that Sarah did a granola bar thing before, but there's a lot of people who have peanut allergies, who can't do peanut butter, different things like that. And if we want to stay away from sugar, get the glycemic down a little bit, things like that. So I'm just going to show you some alternatives and some things that you can probably substitute in there. I did put the recipe in the description below, so you guys can follow along if you want to. Thanks, Grammy Karen. Appreciate it. You have extended family who was killed in a car crash because of field learning. Oh my gosh, exactly, the zero visibility. And the thing is, there are railroad tracks that are just about 3 blocks from me. You guys have heard the the horn blowing on occasion, but there have been times where the fire has jumped the highway and gone into the ditch and crossing the railroad tracks, and which is dangerous, of course, for the trains. And so, I mean, it just gets out of control, and there have been homes at risk and everything. It's dumb. I am so sorry, Laurie, that happened. It is crazy. Kiri, you once had a burning pile of brush, no wind at all, then out of the blue, a gust of wind hit. Yep. Sparks jumped several yards, caught grass on fire. You know what? You just don't know what's going to happen. I haven't burned for a long time, but I used to have a burning barrel way in the backyard. And one summer it was so dry that, all the grass was really dry. But I had everything in the barrel, and around the outside of the barrel was dirt and everything. But just burning my paper and stuff in that barrel heated up the ground enough where the grass caught on fire feet away. And so here I'm running and getting the hose from the house, and everything. So as much as you even try to keep it contained, and it wasn't windy or anything like that, it was just the heat of it. So yeah. Oh, you're welcome, Tim. I'm so glad it was a nice surprise for you. So exactly, if the cedar trees catch, exactly. And good morning, Cecilia. Yeah, the other thing that I've learned from bushcrafters, including Sean James, is that when you're out in the woods and you're going to build a fire, make sure that you are not building it on top of a root system. I mean, you can be far away from, the trees and everything. Sorry, you can be far away from the trees, and you can be on dirt and think that you're okay, but there are roots that are fairly shallow underneath. So if you have a really good hot fire that's going down and the coals are sitting down, it can catch the root systems on fire. And then all of a sudden, a day later or something, this tree catches on fire. You've already left the vicinity and stuff like that. So anyway, it's you just got to be careful. So didn't mean this to be like a fire lesson here, and we probably wasted 10 minutes here, but that's okay, Cecilia. Anyway, so I want to start here by doing the granola bars. So I'm going to turn you guys around. The brush burned. So, yeah, the sparks flew a big distance. Absolutely, they fly a big distance. So can everybody see okay? All right, looks like I have a lot of stuff here. I probably do, but again, you have the same recipe in your description below. So what we're going to do is, now if you don't have a food processor, you can always use like a blender or just something that's going to grind things up. Now this is a case where I'm not using my little mini. I am using the big one. So, all right. And I just combined all my nuts. So we have like a total of 2 cups of nuts. I've got 3/4 of a cup of pecans, 3/4 of a cup of cashews, and 1/2 cup of almonds. Now, if you don't like one of the others, or if you want to throw something else in, certainly feel free to, but just right around 2 cups, give or take. It's nothing that's going to be like, I just went 1/4 cup over and it's like, it's going to be bad. So I'm just going to put these all in here. And then the other thing that we do that's a big part of sweetening are dates. And we have 5 large dates. Now when you get these medjool dates, These are medjool. There are different kinds of dates you can get, but they do have pits in them. So I already took it out of this one. If your dates are hard, you want to soak them for about 15 minutes in some warm water. But these are really nice and pliable and squishy, so I am not going to do that. So you just open them up, make sure you take the pits out. And even if they say they're pitted, double check them so that you don't wreck your blade. Jerry here. We need Brett too. He would be a good one. So I'm kind of breaking these up a little bit to just so they're not all clumped in one spot. And we have the last one here. Get this pit out. Wipe my fingers. You love these, huh? Cooking with Kathy live streams. Maybe that'll have to be a series, huh? Oh, because it's actually really fun to interact with you guys as I'm cooking. Even though I make sometimes a lot of mess. So, all right, we're just going to grind these up. Sorry about the noise. And we want to get them till they're about until it's all about a coarse sand consistency. So it's got a little ways to go here. All right, that's looking pretty good. Mostly because you want to, when you bite into them, you want to be able to not have a huge chunk of almond or something like that to kind of break your teeth. So I'm going to move this out of the way here. Oh, no, I do have one. Sorry, forgot something here. Okay, we want to add, now this is optional too, if you like it or not. Where did you go? Oh, is some coconut. If you don't like coconut, you can leave it out, but it just adds a little bit of flavor to it. So even though these are, you know, if you're using big flakes, you want to grind it up pretty good, but I'm just going to pulse it a little bit so that it can incorporate in here easily. There we go. That's it. So I've got the coconut mixed in there. This out of the way. Bring in my bowl. So now we're just going to dump all of this. And you can see, like, even the, like, this is a date piece. So they're all chopped and incorporated in here. So it's a nice granola type of texture in here. All right, let me check the chat here, see what you guys are doing. Oh, hi, Higgs Rock Farm. Yes, you got Kentucky girls here, absolutely. It is hard, Tim, to find healthy snacks. So I'm going to get rid of these pits. Don't accidentally put it in something. All right, so these are all ready to go. And we're just going to set this aside. The next thing we're going to do is get our liquid ready for this. And what that is, you can see in the description, it's going to be honey, and the almond butter and your coconut oil. Now, generally this is what people use, but I like adding a little bit of different flavors kind of and consistencies. And so I can do this without making too much of a big mess here. Okay, so it says half a cup of honey, or doing raw honey and maple syrup. I like to really combine them. And it says, tablespoons, 5 tablespoons, and this again, I can just kind of guess. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I like to do like a little bit more honey than the syrup, just because it does. Now, because honey is so precious right now, I don't make these very often. It's actually been a few years since I've made these. The other reason is because they don't last very long. They're so good. So, who else do we have here? Oh, sorry. Thanks, Carrie. Explain the difference between keto and paleo. Okay. I could take a break right now because I'm not cooking. So paleo is basically gluten-free and grain-free. Grain-free is like the biggest thing. Some will go so far as no nightshades too, which are your potatoes, tomatoes, and peppers, basically, because the reason they're called a nightshade is because they do most of their growing at night. Raw coconut, yes. Raw coconut would be great. You can do whatever you want in that. So paleo sticks to meats, vegetables, the sweeteners is like the natural ones, honey, syrup, and then some fruits are okay, different things like that. Now keto is, and paleo doesn't worry about carbohydrates really. They just focus on the nutritional value of things and how it affects your gut. Really focuses on gut health. I think the light is okay here. Because all of your health starts in your gut. And at some point I'll share with you guys my health journey with all that. So anyway, keto focuses on low carbs or no carbs, depending on how strict you want to go. So they focus on high fats, but they have to be healthy fats, really. Avocado, olive, bacon fat, different things like that. A lot of people think that keto is just strictly, high meats, and that's it. It's like, oh, I could eat all the bacon I want, I can eat all this I want, but it's you want to just have maybe 4 to 6 ounces of meat a day at the most, and then just fish, a lot of fish and everything, but high in vegetables. Their big thing is that they can have dairy. Paleo pretty much stays away from dairy, but that's where I incorporate keto and bringing that into my diet. So, but dairy to the extent of I do butter and cheese, pretty much just hard cheeses, shredded cheese and block cheese and stuff like that. I don't do regular milk or, very seldom will I do, every once in a while, some yogurt and sour cream, that type of thing. But I do stay away from the milk. Good morning, Christina. How are you? Oh, super, Alicia. That's so great. So anyway, so keto is, just really low carb, checking on that. Now paleo can do like sweet potatoes and nut flours and all kinds of other things. You just stay away from all grains because The grains really are hard on our systems. So whereas I don't know if keto even gets into grain because they're more carb type of things. But anyway, there's a lot of different degrees to each one and different crossovers and everything. But needless to say, both of them, you just stay away from processed foods. You stay away from, processed sugars, processed this and that. Oh, keto also does a lot of desserts in the way of using artificial sweeteners. I shouldn't say artificial, but like stevia. I know it's a natural one, and so they allow a lot of that. For me, even if it's like a natural thing like that with stevia, I find that it's still it continues to create it continues to create a craving for those sweets. Whereas I find that honey and syrup, because they're just so much more natural. I don't know, your body processes them better or something. I don't know. But anyway, I find that works a little bit better. I don't go through that much. Now, the honey I mostly use in my tea, just because there's so many great properties to honey. So I put that in my tea. And maple syrup, I try to get organic, something that has been not processed, but raised, tapped around here. There we go, tapped, and boiled down and everything. So I know some people who do some really good stuff. So, hey Debbie, good morning to you. Hello, thank you for coming. So does that answer? Was that Tim? Was that you, or was I answering about that? Oh, Lori, you had a question. Lori, did that answer your question pretty much? Yeah, that could be a good cold cereal too. And so there again, make some almond milk from, that I would have to do, but almonds are expensive enough where I don't incorporate cereal into my diet. So for breakfast, I generally eat like 2 meals a day. So one would be, my first meal would be either between like 11 and 1, somewhere in there, 11 and 2, depending on my schedule and how hungry I am. Then the other one would probably be anywhere between 5 and 4 and 7, something like that. So I don't want to eat too late. And usually I'm just not really that hungry when I get up in the morning. So, but if I am, I will do a breakfast. I'll even do a late breakfast. I'll have breakfast any time of day. But I like to do like a stovetop frittata or something like that. And if you guys don't know what that is, I can do that sometime. It's really easy, really quick. Keto, there is, I will get back to that. There was another question I needed to check on here. The honey. Yeah, the white honey. I love using this raw honey. It's basically, I think processing is that it's whipped or something like that. But it comes right from the comb. And I've gotten it straight from the beekeepers like this. So I prefer this because it doesn't crystallize nearly as quickly. It would take 3 or 4 years for it to crystallize. Whereas if I buy let me see what I have here. If I get a bottle of liquid honey like this, it'll crystallize like crazy. And this one I actually got in the Black Hills. It's butter pecan. It's just so good. Anyway, but I've had that for years, so I don't use it that much. But I really do like this. And then, like for the chocolates that I made last week, using a thicker honey helps to solidify things a lot better. So, anyway, honey. Okay, keto for starving. Pineapple would be really good in here. Keto is, yes, one of the other big things is what they call intermittent fasting. So essentially, it's like the time between your last meal in the evening and your next meal during the day. They say it should be about 15 hours. That way, is something about allowing your body to go into what they call ketosis, and that's why the whole thing is called keto. And so it's a chemical process your body goes through then to break down certain things, I guess, and to build up other stuff. So I don't know all the technical things that are there, but yeah, so it's not really starving, it's just allowing your body to kind of reset, I guess, just kind of reboot it every day in that way so that it can process better. You're welcome, Lord. Let me see. Ketogenic diet was created to help some medical conditions. It does, and I've known it to help a lot of people. A lot of people are very sold and adamant. For me, they're just elements, like I said, that don't work for me, either from my body or from my schedule, different things like that. So no problem, Debbie. Use honey in your coffee. Ooh, good morning, Jesus is Lord. Good morning to you. Aw, thank you. Thank you. Dave, are you okay with the food stuff going on? So, yes, bacon lovers love the keto diet, but you can have bacon and paleo. I just find that paleo, there's a lot more latitude, maybe in a way of just the kinds of things you can make and what you can do. You're not restricted to, oh, you can't have grapes because those are higher in sugar, the type of thing. So I don't know, it's really good. All right, let's continue on here. We still have some things left to do. Okay, so there's my pot. I have the honey in here. And then I want 3 tablespoons of maple syrup added to this. So, oh, where's my tablespoon? Lost it. There it is. I have to heat this on the stove. So yes, I will be bringing you over to the stove. Trying not to catch you on fire. There's 3, or that's 2. I need 3 of them. Another reason I don't make too many desserts too is because, well, for the carbs, but also these are expensive. So I try not to go through my syrup and my honey too much. Now, if you grow it and you raise all this stuff and it's free to you, go for it. Okay. Then I want 1/4 cup of almond butter, and I'm doing a mix. So you can either do 1/2 cup of just almond butter, or I do 1/4 cup of each. I like adding the sunflower seed butter because it just adds a little bit more. It's closer to like a peanut butter flavor than some other things. So I did mix this morning. A lot of times you have to stir these to get them, because they start to separate. Yes, it's messy. All right, so then we need 1/4 cup of almond butter. The almond butter is thicker. You can see the difference in consistency. So this will also probably make your granola bars a little less sticky to just use the almond butter, but you do whatever you want in here. Okay, I will clean those up later. So we've got the honey and syrup and almond butter and sunflower seed butter. Then we need to add 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. And you want the solid. I'm just going to kind of estimate it here. And this will also help them solidify more when they're chilled. All right, then some flavoring. We're going to add, calls for a teaspoon of vanilla, and this is optional, but I really like it, so I'm putting in 1/4 of a teaspoon of almond, which you guys know I like the almond flavor and things. But just a little bit, 1/4 a teaspoon in there. Almost out of this. But guess what? I have a big boy here. So I'm not going to run out. All right, so we've got this mixture, and we're going to bring it over to the stove and melt this all down. That's going to take a little while to cook, so I'm going to travel with you guys here. Probably I'll read your post first before we go over. Thank you. Yeah, bacon lovers. What kind of diet is good after gallbladder surgery? Things. I don't know. Boy, I guess just research that. You know, because I know that there's certain foods that will get that bile going more, and so Debbie, I like that. No to low fat. Yes. Exactly. I mean, your body needs those oils. It just depends on the kinds of oils and fats that you choose to do, and that's where you really need to know what the healthy fats are. And really, it comes down to avocado oil, olive oil, grapeseed oil. Some say it's healthy, some say it's not, but kind of think on that. Borderline hypoglycemic. Okay. Okay, Kiri. Well, yeah, then the one thing about sugar or about honey compared to sugar is that honey does not make you spike. Sugar will make you spike and then crash. Honey will kind of level you out for that. So I know that there is that. I'm not sure about syrup if that does the same thing. Yeah, Alicia, I would hate to give you any advice on that. I don't really know. I would say probably, I don't know, any diet that you can get the grains and processed foods out is really going to help. But as far as what builds the other stuff that your gallbladder would need to process, I just don't know. Fried foods. Okay, Julie, there you go. I should just keep reading on. Fried foods. Okay, so would that be just right after surgery, or is that something that she could incorporate in after a while? So, high carb breakfast for you. Okay. No problem, Jesus is Lord. I just appreciate you being here. Take you through time as well. Okay. Yes, you know, to keep away from bad foods. Okay. You sell Watkins? Yes, it is Watkins. And I got it at a little shop up north somewhere. So Good morning, Will. How are you? All right, bring you over to the stove. Are you ready to travel? There we go. Check out my back door. Yes. Okay. Hopefully, you can see it a little bit here. I will try to catch your chat. All right, so we're going to put it on medium and just let this start melting. It needs to come to a boil and then boil for about 5 minutes. I need to be stirring it constantly. That's why I couldn't do it beforehand. So because it will burn easily. I do have it in a pan that won't stick very easily. So, if you'd use enamel or a well-seasoned cast iron or something like that. Yeah, coconut oil is already melted in here. I know you guys can't really see, but trust me, I'm here. All right, let's see who we have here. Yes, I am doing well, Will. How about you? Bile breaks down. Oh, okay, so really, you have to be careful of the fats with that. So, yeah, you'd probably have to learn to, boy, what would you cook with? Because I cook with a lot of oils. I would imagine maybe broths, like skimming the fat off of broth and use broth to cook your meats and different things like that. So it's already getting nice and smooth. A few chunks of coconut oil in there, but just wait for it to start boiling. So did any of you make anything special for Cinco de Mayo at all, or is that something that's just not even on your radar in your part of the country? Just was wondering. You can do oil now, but it took a while. Oh, okay. So Matt, you had gallbladder surgery then, huh? So it just takes a while for your body to really get used to it and process it. All right. So Debbie, you made tacos. Yum. I just enjoyed my nacho sauce. Yes, that was bad. I actually finished that off last night for supper. Hey, it's carrots and potatoes, right? How long would you figure that it took you, Matt, to do that, to get used to it? You ate chips and salsa? All right, Grammy Karen. Oh, that's awesome. Grammy Karen, how's your arm? I keep hearing, that maybe you have a cast off, maybe you don't, and so I'm not sure. Because I've missed some of the kids' chats and stuff, but I was just wondering how you're doing. So Debbie, you're having taco salad tonight. Oh my goodness, I love taco salad. Okay, it's starting to bubble a little on the edges. And so I say 5 minutes, but really you can kind of tell when it's just starting to get to a consistency where it's getting thick, it's pulling away, it's kind of caramelizing in a way, and you don't want to go further than that because it'll go past the point of being okay and being able to work with it. The point of boiling it down a little bit is so that when you turn it into the bars, it will not just be an ooey gooey sticky mess. So I would read the chat, but I have to keep watching this because it is. Now, if you have any hair on the back of your hands, this will probably be gone after you're doing this for a while over open flame. I think the time will vary too on if you use just all honey or all almond butter. Because I mix the ingredients, it creates a little bit of a different thing for me. So, okay, what it's starting to do is pulling away from the side a little bit, so it's bubbling, and yeah, I don't think it's even been 5 minutes here, so I think we're done here. Okay, I just want to show you guys real quick here, if you can see that it got real thick. It's kind of pulling away here. Okay. Sorry, guys. Okay, this next step I have to kind of keep going on it. Then I'll come back to the chat. Okay, so we've got our nuts there. So you can kind of see how it was starting to pull away and get really thick and caramely like. Get all that out of there. So some was even starting to solidify a little bit. Then we want to mix this into the nuts. So we're getting a nice consistency here. All right. Then we're going to add our dried fruits. I've got my quarter cup and all. Yeah. These are hard to open after I cook them. Okay, so you want about 1/4 of a cup of each thing. These are chopped apricots, so I have probably 1/2 a cup there. That's optional. And some raisins. Oh, tip for these things with raisins, guys, is to put a layer of plastic down on top of them. Then they stay fresh. They don't get all hard. So, okay, some raisins. What else do I have? What? Okay. So really, you can put any dried fruit you want in here. Just mix it up. See how thick it's getting already? That's cooling. All right. Some other things you could add if you wanted to are chia seeds or flax seeds. Those are some things you could add, or pumpkin seeds. You could have dried chopped mango, dried pineapple, really kind of whatever fruit you want in here. All right. it in here. And then you can either add chocolate chips or chocolate chunks. I only have the chips right now. I don't have the chunks, which are kind of nice if you want some nice big chocolate chunks. About half a cup of these. These are going to start melting in here pretty quickly because this mixture is warm. I'll get to the chat soon, guys. It's just that I have to, because this has to be tended to right away, otherwise it gets too hard. All right, I have got a 9x13 baking sheet here that I've lined with parchment paper because once the sheet of it is hardened, it makes it easy to pull out. You're not trying to turn it over and bang it and stuff like that. So just pour this into here. Get all of that goodness in there. Kind of spread it out a little bit. And then we are going to put another sheet of parchment on here because that's so sticky right now. And then just press it down into the sides of the pan. Gluten-free desserts are notoriously sticky and hard to deal with. So, oh, that's another thing. So paleo is also gluten-free. So, see how even this is getting. I've tried using a spoon before and just kind of mushing it around, and it doesn't work so well. But anyway, you just want to pack it down so it's pretty condensed. It's going to be kind of chocolatey because, again, the chocolate melted. But anyway, there we go. Now, if you have kids, you want to lick that, or get them to lick it. So anyway, kind of chocolatey on the top because, like I said, it melted in there. But now I just put this in the freezer for 2 hours. And then when I take it out, I can just pull it out, put it on a board, and then you can just take a knife and cut. You should be able to get a minimum of 12 bars in here. So you cut it down in half, and then 6 pieces on the side. And then when you, they should be stored either in the freezer or the refrigerator because the nature of the ingredients here, they're going to be melty. But they're so good. They really are so good. The last thing that is optional, but I love to do, where is my bag? Oh, here we go. I love to sprinkle some sea salt on here. And this is a coarse salt. So it's kind of like having that salted caramel chocolate type of thing. So believe me, this really adds a lot to it, and it's so good. All right, there it is, and that will go into the freezer to solidify. And like I said, when I cut it, when you store it, you can either take each bar and wrap it in parchment paper, or if you put it in a container and just put a parchment paper layer between each one, then you don't have to worry about them sticking together. You can take one out at a time. All right. All right, guys. So there we go. Those are the bars. All right, where are we going? I have to get back here. It looks yummy. Um, oh, okay. Well, Mary Karen, I'll keep praying for you. All right. Matt, you only had it 3 months ago? Oh, wow. Okay. I know. Everything's closed. We have to learn how to make our own tacos. Um, After 25 4 years, I think it's going to be whatever's your individual thing. I know my mom had hers 50 years ago or something, and I don't know that she ever has trouble with it, but she doesn't eat much fats anyway. So it's just it's her. Um, do what's your fruit intake? Oh, okay. So fruit, okay, fruit and fried food. Again, the individual. You just have to listen to yourself. Yes, corn can be really bad. Absolutely, corn is hard for your body to process. Oh, that would have been nice, Carrie. Oh, yes, the Mexican food and visiting, absolutely. Yes, freeze-dried pineapple sounds really good too. So yeah, if you have freeze-dried foods, throw them in there, whatever you want. That's really kind of the beauty of doing these. As you know, Matt, because Sarah makes her own too, and it's just doing what you like in there and what you have. If you don't have everything, you just put in there what you have. So exactly, Debbie, Carmen, you just have to figure that out. So. Hey, Deb from Washington, Enriched Refuge. I like that. That's very good. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate that. And Debbie, Carmi, I'm glad your family's going to love that. I know Julie, right? It's the first couple times I didn't do that, and then I was like, okay, I think I need to be a little less messy here. We eat frequent small meals. Yeah, everybody is different. That's why people say, oh, just go on this diet or that diet or this meal or whatever. And um, sorry, gotta wash my hands. You know, everybody's different. We're our guts and what we can take are as individual as we are as people. And so, thank you, Dave. Yeah, don't say it's chocolate. It's chocolate. And believe me, underneath on the other side, it's going to look a whole lot better. So you could, if you wanted to, you could even take some other chocolate and melt it after you do this and put a layer of chocolate on there. And, still do like the sea salt here, put another layer of melted chocolate so that when you take them and cut them open, you've got this layer of granola and then a layer of chocolate on the bottom. That's always a possibility, but this is enough chocolate for me. So, y'all coming over? Yes, party time. I have enough here. So, oh, Matt, maybe I'll still have some in the freezer when you guys are able to come over. That'd be great. Jake, well, thanks so much for coming. Oh my gosh, you guys have been on for almost an hour. I'm so sorry to keep you. Your daughter and grandson are here to help you tomato and pepper flame. Oh, awesome. You're welcome. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it, Jake. And oh, David doesn't mean you have to make them, All right. Thanks, Cecilia, for being here. Bye, Jake. You guys take care, and we'll see you tomorrow. I got on my list to make some calendula salve, if I can find all the things that I need for it. So that's what I'm hoping to make anyway. Well, thanks, Matt. That's a compliment. I appreciate that. So something, I still have to be in the kitchen, but it's going to be something different. It's not food, Dave. It's not food. So, so anyway, I've got a lot of calendula oil that I made last summer, and I need to be using it. So, so anyway, we're doing it. So, oh, that's great, Deb. I'm glad you're getting chickens. That's so great. So, anyway, you guys take care. God bless. Always have hope, and we'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 Central. Bye bye.